Hi, Linda Maria. My name's Phạm Ngọc Duy, and I come from Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. And now I would like to present my answers for, let's say, the four questions mentioned in our reflection of the module number 3. The first, when responding my coursemate micro-coaches, I strongly believe that I was able to apply the techniques of active listening, reading, and critical thinking quite well. Personally, I tried to use as many techniques among 12 ones as possible, between 3 and 4, or even more. Reading carefully what I responded to my course-mates, you can find out that some techniques that I frequently used. Firstly, using full attention to read the post, which I believe that I wasn't distracted by reading my peers' posts, and I could fully understand what my friends wrote. Being an active listener, I usually reflect my self-awareness before responding to. Another technique that I always used in my responses was making sure you understood what the other person wrote. This technique always plays an important role in my responses because it helped me make sure that I completely understand what I am reading, which definitely lead to an accurate feedback, and it also a way to express my respect to my friend's post. Um, sometime, Sometimes I use recognize the emotional side, which with some phrases such as you appear to be feeling blah 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 blah, or that sounds really exciting. And some techniques like offering alternatives, offering a different way of seeing things, and sharing your point of view, knowledge, or experience were also used in my responses too. Thanks to these techniques, I personally believe that I could help my friends have a full picture of what they wrote. Additionally, I used the technique of request more information when I felt curious or would like to know more. Um, Definitely, this technique helped me help my friends think of more ideas, and it was also a good chance to come up with the most effective solution. Lastly, but most importantly, I always kept in my mind about the technique of be respectful, the last one. Because when you respected someone, you certainly chose the words carefully to comment or questions effectively. From my own perspective, all techniques all the techniques I used in my responses had very positive effects on my friends, not only respected their sharing but also created a very open-minded discussion. However, in order to make the responses more effective, I should use more techniques such as ask question the other person hasn't thought of, or get the other person thinking about the future. By doing so, both my friend and I can double check our assumptions or our interpretations for what we have observed. And sometimes I can help my friends adjust the belief or actions in the future. That's it for the paragraph number 2. I would like to answer now. As Stephen mentioned, most people do not listen with their intent to understand. They listened with the intent to reply. So we can easily find out the connection between active listening and being able to encourage the others to reflect. In our reading materials, it is said that the purpose of using active listening in discussion boards is to help ourselves practice giving feedback, offering suggestions, clarify information, and thinking critically and understanding. Or the material also said that critical thinking is a hard work. Other people can help us in this hard work by actively listening to us and offering us thought. It is obvious that if we are able to think critically and listen actively, we can provocate our perspective in a respectful way, from which both reader and writer's perspective are clearly presented in many discussions. In other words, there are always mutual correlations between being able to encourage others to reflect, critical thinking, and active listening. For the paragraph number 3, how could you apply this in your teaching? To be honest, 12 techniques used to encourage the other to reflect are really essential in my teaching, and they can be applied flexibly in my teaching too. By using the techniques, a teacher can encourage students to pay attention to their friends speaking and to make sure that they can fully understand any pieces of information before giving their feedback. Moreover, being a teacher, I have to design teaching activities so that they can feel at ease to share their point of view. If they do not understand anything, I always give them a chance to ask me to clarify the answer or ask for further information if needed. Also, I advise my students to respect the person they are talking to. What's more, I should listen actively what my students share with me, so we can get multiple perspectives from which I can adjust my behaviors in classroom. Most importantly, I need to know how to think critically to choose the best teaching approach to fulfill my students' needs and to produce effective learning and teaching environment. Because of its importance, I need to help my students to enhance their critical thinking, which will support them a lot, not only during college time, but also when going to work in the future. And right now, I come to answering for question number 4, paragraph number 4. It is really hard. It is a really hard question to answer. However, I would like to present some of my opinions. To be honest, I wish my reflection would be as deep as possible so that it can be beneficial for my classmates whose ideas are written in discussion boards and the reflector, that's me, who pay attention to reading the post and giving their thought, their thinking, or making some suggestion. Regarding self-assessment, I think that my reflection reaches level 6, critical reflection, in the depth of reflection rubric. It is because my reflection included the course with myself as well as my exploration of possible reasons for my actions. Taking some examples in my writing from my own perspective or techniques I used, blah 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 blah. There are always mutual correlations between blah 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 blah. In addition to, my reflection did illustrate a change in my perspective. However, in order to make the responses more effective, I should, right? Those are my answer for that's the question of module number 3. Thank you for your listening and watching. I hope that my responses would be somehow good for our discussions. Yeah, thank you so much. Goodbye.